Yes, my name is Ian McIntosh. I'm the Director of International Partnerships at IUPUI. I'm going to be talking about my long-distance relationship with my sister. She's a year older than me. She lives in far North Australia in the city of Darwin, and I live here, of course, in Indianapolis. Well, there was always jealousy, who was the favourite child and all that sort of thing. I'm sure that's the same with most families, but yeah, very close. I mean, she was a year older than me, and she was like my protector in many ways. If people tried to bully me, my sister would get into them. And, when I left the USA in the late 90s, our communications fell right off. Of course, even then, in the late 1990s, international phone calls were very expensive. You didn't do it. I mean, I would send a letter to her when I came to the US, and she would write back. But our communications really picked up after my father died, which was about 15 years ago, and then because my mother was alone, and we came upon a plan that to keep her company, because she wanted to stay in her house and be there. My sister would call her of an evening, and I would call her of a morning. My sister from 3,000 kilometers away in Darwin, and I would call her from 20,000 kilometers away in the US. And so in that way, we were having these daily calls to my mother. And then we would catch up ourselves with updates on how things were going. And then after my mother's passing, there was this great gap in our lives. You can imagine, for 3 or 4 years, every day you would be calling your mother, every day. And the same for my sister. And then so we started to call each other every single day, which I thought was a little bit too much. But now it's about every two days, but it's by FaceTime, and it's free, and it's quite remarkable. So I mean, she's very much a part of my life now, every little thing, and vice versa. So I mean, we're as close now as we've ever been. Yes, the favorite thing about my sister is the fact that she puts family first. I mean, she's the most generous person I think that I've ever met. She's willing to go all out for family. Well, and for friends, for that matter. My goodness, far more than I am. But and yeah, so I've learned a lot from her, and I'm very grateful to have her on hand and guiding, even guiding now. However many years later.